Experienced killers often play tactics and try to run away. Here are times when teen killers realize they've been caught. In a shocking and disturbing incident, Courtney Cleone found herself in serious trouble. She not only caused a severe injury to her boyfriend, but also tried to evade the consequences by calling the police on herself. Let's dive into the details of this troubling event. On April 3, 2022, Miami police received a distressing phone call from Courtney Cleone. She urgently reported a distressing situation involving her boyfriend, Christian Toby Abomcelli, a 27-year-old man who was in critical condition, bleeding heavily from a serious chest wound. When the police arrived at the scene, they were met with a horrifying sight. The apartment was covered in pools of blood, and Toby's life was hanging by a thread. Initially, Courtney and Toby appeared to be a loving couple when they met in 2020. However, behind closed doors, their relationship took a dark turn, marked by violent arguments. Law enforcement had been called to their home multiple times due to their turbulent disputes. The most alarming altercation occurred in April 2022, resulting in Toby's severe injury and desperate plea for survival. When questioned by the police, Courtney denied any involvement in the incident. However, the police had their suspicions and decided to bring her in for further questioning. A lengthy 5-hour interrogation commenced as detectives sought to uncover the truth.
I had broken up with him, and then he came back the last 2 nights, and then got into an argument, and I ended up getting scared, and I think that I overreacted, or not overreacted necessarily, but reacted, and I just didn't know exactly what might happen.
Do you guys work here in Miami, or do you guys have your own business?
I do social media, so I'm an influencer, I guess is what call it, yes, I'm an influencer.
What do you focus on, like Instagram or social media?
Instagram, LinkedIn.
And what is it that he does?
Stocks and crypto.
Stocks and crypto?
He just has stocks and lots of crypto. We were going to move into a house.
Mm-hmm.
So, have an apartment, and then we were like, maybe just move here for a year. And then once we got here, we were like, no, this is dope.
Yeah.
So, we have the dog picked out. It's a golden retriever. We're going to name Mello. So we were going to get the house so we could have a backyard. Because I have 2 dogs, and then we're going to have 3. So we're planning on staying here for a while. Sorry.
They aimed to keep the atmosphere non-confrontational and empathetic, letting Courtney know that Toby was in the hospital but still alive, a tactic often used to ease the suspect's anxiety and encourage cooperation. Courtney shared her version of events, explaining that they had broken up earlier on the evening in question and the argument had escalated, making her fearful for her safety.
From the start, you guys were supposed to take out your dogs to the park, right? And then what happened after that?
Like I said, a little bit before, I was doing laundry and tried to call my mom. She didn't answer the first time. And then he left. I guess he went to go bike over there. That's just what he said. I don't know if he walked or biked, but he told me he's going to bike first.
Like a bicycle?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he came back with a Subway sandwich, and I said something about oh, are you gonna reshare your location with me? Did you unshare it? And he said, yeah, I unshared it. And I was like, oh, when did you do that? And he goes, the other day, when you were done with me. And I was like, okay, well, fair enough. Reshare it. And then he told, it kind of turned into a little argument or something. And then he told me to reshare mine, and I was like, okay, yeah, I will. And then I didn't do it immediately. He asked me about it again, and I don't know what I was thinking, but it just said something about, well, what if I'm somewhere you don't want me to be? Which I wouldn't have been. I love him, but maybe you don't want to know where I am. I guess maybe they'll just hurt him because he was pressing me. And he ended up pinning me against the wall. I mean, I said like choking me on the floor. It's just like they were looking at my neck, and I was like, I mean, I'm not saying like choking me, like, you know, whatever. But I mean, he had my like neck, like and this happened twice before, where I couldn't breathe and I was on the floor. Yeah. I could not breathe, and I don't think that he is trying to kill me, but I was scared, and all 3 times I have been scared. I'm on the floor. And have you been? Get my mom on the phone. So this happened like over by the door, and somehow moved like over in the living room. He was standing by the couch, kissing for the kitchen. I was in the kitchen, and then he just like I could see like all the whites in his eyes, and he was like coming at me, and so I grabbed one of these knives. My mom got me for Christmas. I grabbed one of them, and I was like, I swear to God, I swear to God, it was just like I mean I grab and be like, don't come anywhere closer to me, because I mean earlier that was happening 2 other times. I couldn't breathe. I'm sorry, I couldn't breathe, and it's very scary. And I just think like this kind of thing where I was saying like, do you know if he's okay? If he's choking me and he's angry enough, he might like, or I mean, this is different, I think. But if he's like choking me or like pinning me or something and I can't breathe, he might go too long. So I grab a knife and I said, don't come anywhere closer to me. I had absolutely no intention of using it. I'm on the phone with my mom, and he's coming at me like he's gonna grab either the phone or like the knife or something. And so I was just like, I was like, don't come any closer. It's coming at me, and I threw it. And I meant for it to go.
How far away was he?
Well, I was by my fridge, and he was like by the edge of one of the chairs of the sofa. Like
comparing to what?
The fridge. He was by the couch.
Yes. And then
behind my island.
And then what kind of movements did he make at the moment? He was gonna walk
running
up?
At me.
Running? Okay.
Well, charging, aggressively walking, something.
What was he doing? Like, was he doing something with his hands, or?
I mean, he had his hands up. I couldn't tell you exactly.
Was he yelling at you at the time?
Yes.
Was that at the moment that he was charging you, or earlier in one of the arguments?
It was before he choked me. Yes, it was before he choked me.
Okay.
Or whatever. But I swear to God, I was scared. I mean, after like what I was scared, and I was on the phone with my mom, and it was still happening. Yeah. I was scared.
So you told me that he had you against the wall at one point, right? With his hands over your neck.
Mm-hmm.
And how did you end up from the wall to the ground?
Let me go, and then I started swinging on him because I had been against the wall. Okay. I started trying to hit him. Yeah. And then he put me on the ground.
He dropped you to the ground.
When I'm trying to remember like a whole situation of where I was very upset about something, which I've learned this in therapy and whatever, it's like write down like all the details so you don't forget. Just like write it all out clearly, so it makes sense to you and makes sense to somebody else. But I haven't had a chance to have a pen and paper or my phone to like write down exactly what happened, and I haven't really even like fully thought about it. Yeah. So honestly, my answer is I don't remember.
That's fine. Okay. You guys have a history of violence?
Yeah.
You say you've been together how long, sorry?
Almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years.
2.5 to 2 years.
So how many incidents you think you've had?
I don't know. But we shouldn't be together.
Have you made a report before?
No.
You've never made a report?
Oh, I did in Dallas actually about a year ago, and he was detained.
And what happened there?
He had pushed me in the lobby, but it wasn't like a big deal, and they made it a huge deal.
The couple had also been involved in another incident in Las Vegas less than a year earlier. Police were called to their apartment after a loud argument was heard, as well as glasses smashing on the floor and walls. The apartment was trashed when police arrived, and Courtney's story was all over the place.
Why did you call for help?
Because we were getting really loud. I was like, oh my God, we're gonna like do damage to the room or something. Not damage to each other. Like I really want to like.
Why would you think
that?
Why would you think that you were gonna do damage to the room?
I like throwing something or like.
Did you throw something?
Did I?
Yeah.
No.
Did anybody throw anything?
No,
So why would you think that there is damage to the room to be made?
because I've done that before in our house, and I
What have you done?
thrown a glass and a plate.
Did you throw a glass or a plate at him today?
No,
Okay. So if
no, this is before.
Okay, so when I go to the room and I see a broken glass on the floor, where did the glass come from?
I don't know. I literally couldn't even remember how the fight started.
Okay, well,
Was there?
yeah.
Courtney was doing laundry and tried to call her mother. When her mother didn't answer at first, Toby decided to go to her mother's place, either by walking or biking. During this time, he came back with a Subway sandwich. Courtney mentioned something about resharing their locations with each other, a common practice in many relationships. However, when she didn't immediately reshare her location, Toby pushed her to do so. Courtney explained that the argument escalated. Toby insisted on her resharing her location. She mentioned that she felt like she hadn't gone anywhere she shouldn't have, and she loved him. But as the argument continued, things took a troubling turn. She described how Toby pinned her against the wall and, at one point, pinned her to the floor, even choking her.
But the cops have been up there one other time yesterday for absolutely no reason. Absolutely none. They harassed, not the police, but security guards from office, like young security guards.
Okay.
Came up for no reason. Bothered him.
I didn't. Nobody.
I call. You call.
What?
Okay.
What's going on?
Okay, hold on, man. Let him talk. Okay. Let him talk. Okay. The front desk personnel, she informed us that Miss Courtney, her boyfriend, was trying to get into the elevator, and she had her hand out like this, and she was like, "Oh no, don't come inside the elevator." Okay. So we asked her. I said, "Do you want him to leave the property?" She said no. She don't want him to.
I did not say that. I said yes.
Hold on.
Courtney, what's going on? What do you need? What?
My boyfriend.
All right. So what do you want to see?
I want a restraining order against Christian Gonzalez.
We don't issue those.
Because
Those
I'm
to
serious.
court.
Can I do that?
You
Where
have to
can
go
I?
to court. You have to go to that.
These experiences had happened before, and she remembered not being able to breathe during those moments. She emphasized that she didn't think Toby was trying to kill her, but these experiences left her scared. As the detectives continued their questioning, it was clear that they were navigating a complex tangle of emotions and events.
In a nightmare right now,
Yes.
you know?
I will feel so much better once they just say he's stable.
Yeah.
Because I've been asking so
and
much.
that's what we're waiting for. Okay.
I mean, I feel like at the end, I mean, if he's not, that's a lot worse for me.
So they've asked for an update, and I asked them for an update as well, so they're checking to see what's going on. Because they're
I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I will do with myself if he's not okay.
No matter
I
what.
mean, I clearly we can't be together.
No matter what happens,
But
no matter where this falls, right? It's out of our control.
So we have to inform you that Christian did not make it. Okay. Unfortunately, the doctors did what they could. And
Christian is dead.
Yes.
Oh my God. This is not real, right? Okay. No, this is not real. Christian died? Can I please have a hug? Am I allowed to do that in here?
Sure. Yeah.
Relax. You'll be fine.
No.
Calm down. Calm down. Take deep breaths.
I need to hug my mom. I cannot be left alone in like a room by myself
You won't be.
after this. No, that's not true. That's not real, right?
It is real.
Christian is dead.
Yes. They're not gonna lie.
The last thing he ate was Subway. What I was saying to that other room, I said, God forbid, when like from far away, what if it had accidentally hit a little bit lower and he died?
So we can't change what's occurred and forget them before. So just step by step. So you'll get.
Courtney's account raised more questions about the nature of their relationship and the dynamics that might have led to the tragic incident in question. At Orange High School in Ohio, there was a troubling situation involving an 18-year-old student named Nolan Rosen. The incident began when school authorities suspected he might have brought a weapon into the school. The concern escalated when a bullet was discovered in the high school cafeteria. Police were called to the school to address the situation and decided to conduct a search of all the students.
Oh, okay.
Somebody find something you know about?
Because I had a bullet in my pocket, but it was like it's not like I'm planning anything.
Oh,
I
okay.
dropped
Wait,
it on the
so
ground.
you okay?
But I don't know. I'm not allowed to bring a bullet.
Okay.
Okay, why don't you call? He's gonna call.
Wait, I'm not like a.
This action raised concerns, and Rosen was understandably anxious about the situation.
I would raise a concern, but I'm not like. I'm really scared about that stuff, like school shooters too. I'm like very it makes me anxious too that anyone can just walk into school and shoot it up. So I'm like,
You're worried about that?
Yeah, I worry about that stuff a lot sometimes.
What made you bring those with you?
Rosen's anxiety was apparent as he explained that he, too, was worried about the possibility of school shootings. He was concerned about the safety of everyone at the school. In this part of the story, Rosen opens up about how the thought of school shootings and violence makes him feel extremely anxious.
But I just literally carried it in my car. Like I don't bring it into school.
Is there a gun in your car right now?
Yeah. Let's go out.
So you'll stay.
Yeah. They're in my bag. It's not an assault rifle. It's literally a .22 Henry repeating rifle.
I didn't ask
for small game.
I just want to know if you have one there.
Not meant to kill people.
Where are you parked?
I can show you.
What kind of car is it?
A black Chevy.
This isn't one that it like folds in half.
I think you got it's not a breach. I think you have to. Let's see what. Oh, okay. So there's. See if this goes up there.
Imagine having a gun on school property is a major issue. So I am suspending you for 10 days with a recommendation for expulsion. So what happens now is suspension will start tomorrow. And only the superintendent can determine whether or not to expel the student. So I'm recommending you for expulsion. Since you are also on a 504 plan, somebody from the special education department will be reaching out to you because we're going to have to hold what's called a manifestation determination meeting. But at this point, it is a 10-day suspension with a recommendation for expulsion for weapons, specifically a gun, and disruption of misconduct.
In this final part of the story, Rosen faces serious legal consequences. The police inform him that he is being charged with possessing a deadly weapon in a school safety zone and inducing panic.
We're ready to handcuff you until we get you outside to a cruiser. Because there's a lot of people going on. We want to save you any kind of.
There's no law against bringing a gun. It's a policy. There's no show me the statute. There's no statute.
I told you before. I assure you, there is an actual law. We'll show it to you when we get to the station. I mean, it's not. We're not making it up. We're trying to.
I think you are making it.
No, we're trying to accommodate you.
I'll do you a favor.
In a good way.
I'll for you right now.
But you said safety zone. So how am I supposed to know this is a safety zone?
A safety zone is any school property and/or school bus stop.
Does it say safety zone is and/or school property?
School.
I don't think it does.
Yeah,
School
it does.
safety zone.
School safety zone is defined as any school property.
Illegal conveyance or possession of deadly weapon.
So that's what you're getting charged with, as well as something called inducing panic, okay? We can explain all that to you. We're gonna have to formally serve you some charges, but for right now, you're gonna have to come with us. We're gonna walk you out to a police car. We're gonna handcuff you there. And one of the things I wanna do before we take you out there is read you what's called your Miranda rights, okay?
These charges stem from the bullet and the gun found in his possession at the school. Rosen is then led outside and placed inside a police car. Throughout this ordeal, he continues to express his lack of understanding about the rules and regulations regarding firearms.
I didn't, like, I had no idea the rifle was like a big deal.
Okay.
It's a 22 caliber. It's not like a fucking assault rifle. It's not like a made for killing. It's made for shooting small game.
I understand. You'll have an opportunity to explain your version of why this played out or how this happened. Okay, you'll have that. Maybe right now, to each of us is not the opportunity. Take a breath a minute. Try to relax a minute. We got to move forward, okay? Do you get what I'm saying? You'll have an opportunity to explain it.
He argues that the .22 caliber rifle he had is not an assault rifle and is not intended for harming people. Rather, it's designed for small game. The officers reassure Rosen that he will have an opportunity to explain his side of the story and the circumstances surrounding the incident. They advise him to take a moment to collect himself and to understand that they need to proceed with the legal process. The story concludes with the information that Rosen, who the police believe had no intention of causing harm, was released on bond. However, it's highlighted that he could potentially face over a year of imprisonment due to the serious nature of the charges. And with this, we conclude the script detailing the events involving Nolan Rosen and the serious situation he found himself in at school.